Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frank Reynolds at ABC Space Headquarters in New York. It is July 16th, 1969, and we are all about to witness the fulfillment of that promise that President Kennedy made at Rice University Stadium in Texas on September 12th, 1962. The moon that still has not set in some parts of our world has only a few more days of what you might call untrammeled history.
Apollo 11 contains the lunar module, or LEM, which will weigh more than 32,000 pounds at launch time. The command module serves as a flight operations center and living quarters for the astronauts. After the third stage rocket sends Apollo 11 toward the moon, the onboard service module engine will be used to put the astronauts into lunar orbit and later to return them home to Earth. The total payload, nearly 100,000 pounds, rests on a Saturn V rocket. The first stage generates 7.5 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. The second stage will carry the Apollo spacecraft and astronauts to an altitude of 100 miles. And then the third stage breaks Apollo 11 out of Earth orbit and propels the astronauts toward the moon.
12, 11, 10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
We got a roll program.
Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on a proper heading.
Slowly, but gathering speed. Going beautifully, burning hot.
Plus 30 seconds.
Roll complete and the pitches program.
And Apollo 11 is in orbit. Scratch the...
Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are confirmed to go for orbit.
When the third stage is fired, the astronauts will then be inserted into an Earth parking orbit. The guidance system has already computed the trajectory needed to intercept the moon. The confirmation of that trajectory or course will be relayed by Houston to the astronauts. 2 hours and 40 minutes after launch over the Pacific, the third stage engine will be restarted, and when an escape velocity of nearly 25,000 miles per hour is reached, Apollo 11 will be injected into a translunar trajectory. Soon after, the panels of the spacecraft's lunar module adapter are jettisoned. The Apollo command and service module then separates from the booster. The astronauts start the docking maneuver, rotating Apollo 180 degrees, and then, using their small thruster rockets, dock with the LEM. The third stage will be jettisoned when the docking maneuver is completed about 2 hours after translunar injection. The astronauts, using star sightings backed up by mission control, guidance radar, and computers, then work up the data to make mid-course corrections and set their course to intercept the moon 3 days later.
Bomb craters have exactly the same size and shape as most most craters on the moon, and we think, therefore, that moon craters are bomb craters. I can't explode a bomb in the studio, but I have buried a firecracker in a bin of sand to produce a small crater of the kind you can see in surveyor photographs of the moon, and a crater which in minuscule form has the dimensions, the scaling, and the shape of lunar craters and bomb craters on the Earth. That was very satisfactory because it shows not only the characteristic conical shape of many lunar craters, but it even shows the lip that forms around them and the bits of debris, in this case they're chunks of flour, that litter the field, and it shows these rays, these radiating lines, of light material by which scientists always are able to recognize freshly formed new craters on the moon.
Okay, engine stop. ACA at a descent. Post control, both auto, descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Name, sir?
I'm Earl Boyd Pierce, a lawyer from Muskogee, Oklahoma.
What do you think about
I've
this?
witnessed the landing on the moon. I think it's one of the greatest feats of all time.
Does it amaze you that it's taken place?
It not only amazes me, but I'm certain that it amazes everybody in this country.
Do you think it's worth it?
It's certainly worth it, and it's the greatest accomplishment of the people of this nation. There isn't a question about that.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
What is your name, sir?
Frank Stanley.
What do you think about this moon landing?
Well, it's the beginning of a new frontier, the gateway to Mars.
What do you think about the astronauts, Armstrong and Aldrin?
It's a great achievement.
Do you think it took great courage to do what they've done?
It took teamwork. Teamwork was all.
Are you proud of the fact that we've landed on the moon?
Very proud.
Thank you very much.
Apollo 11 landed on the moon. Eagle landed on the moon. They have completed their EVA. They have gathered up their rock samples. They have deployed the various scientific experiments. And voice communications have now been reestablished quite clearly between Houston and Eagle.